allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mike, did you see the signs?
No, not yet.
Oh.
I just got home.
First item, I need approval
I
of
am looking though.
the minutes of City Council September 20th, 2012. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Questions, corrections? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Communications and petitions. Do any citizens wish to be heard on matters not listed on the agenda? Written communiques, I have none. Mayor's report, only one update regarding FEMA and IEMA. Speaking to Mr. Marquardt, one person he spoke to down at the state says the paperwork is done. He followed up just to double check with somebody else. Paperwork's not done. Basically, there's going to be a conference call between IEMA, Representative Saviano, and myself. He's going to schedule that for next Tuesday or Wednesday because Monday's a holiday, and see if we can get something resolved or get a straight answer as far as the FEMA and IEMA. And that's all I have, Mr. Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have one report. Staff's been working with the O'Hare Noise Compatibility Commission, trying to get them to come to a Thursday night meeting and give a brief overview of the residential soundproofing program. They have given us a date for that. They are available on Thursday night, November 1st. So unless anybody objects, I know it is a council meeting, but I would recommend that we have them come because their schedule is very tight at times. So unless anybody objects, November 1st, ONCC would like to come to the council meeting and do a little brief presentation on the soundproofing program for the residents at home. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Next, consent agenda. We have 7 items on the consent agenda. If no objections, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Make that motion.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. So now, I'll entertain a motion to approve the items on the agenda. Item A, a resolution approving a license agreement with Sedera Networks LLC for use of municipal right-of-way. Item B, approval to extend generator grant program to $35,000 total for fiscal year ending April 30th. Item C, approval of squad replacement purchase in the not-to-exceed amount of $50,064. Item D, a resolution seeking to approve an agreement between the City of Wooddale and M&M Lock for the installation of electronic door access system. Item E, approval of pay request partial number 2, Plody Construction Incorporated for 2012 street improvement program in the not-to-exceed amount of $857,243.23. Item F, approval of pay request partial number 1, A-Lamp Concrete Contractors Incorporated for Addison Road Water Main Replacement Phase 2, not to exceed amount of $145,800. Item G, an ordinance amending Article 8 of the Unified Development Ordinance set forth as Chapter 17 in the Municipal Code of the City of Wooddale relative to stormwater and floodplain management. Do I have a motion?
So move. Second.
Questions? Roll call.
Alderman R. Wesley,
Yes.
Alderman Winger,
Yes.
Alderman Coles,
Yes.
Alderman Woods,
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky,
Yes.
Alderman Shockey,
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley,
Yes.
Alderman Lazara.
Yes.
That passes. Next, committee chairman reports, planning and zoning, Alderman Winger.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to make a motion to approve for the city attorney to draft a contract with Lakota Group for the comprehensive entrance and roadway signage plan.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Questions? Roll call.
Alderman R. Wesley,
Yes.
Alderman Winger,
Yes.
Alderman Coles,
Yes.
Alderman Woods,
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky,
Yes.
Alderman Shockey,
No.
Alderman E. Wesley,
Yes.
Alderman Lazara.
Yes.
And that
That
concludes
passes.
my report.
Thank you. Public Health and Safety, Alderman Coles.
No report.
Thank you. Public Works, Alderman Eugene West.
Mayor, I have one report, resolution for maintenance of streets and highway by municipal under the Illinois Highway Code.
That's your motion?
That is my motion.
Do I have a second?
question.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a
Questions?
Question,
Go ahead.
I believe this is the NFT fund we're talking about. Did someone want to explain why this is coming to us, knowing that we already buy salt from Morton Salt? We have bought from Morton Salt for so many years, and now we got this coming to us?
Mr. Wilson. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Brad.
Yeah, as you may recall, over the last year and a half, we've been working on getting all of our issues with MFT and all the resolutions caught up from before. In doing so, a representative from Baxter and Woodman was at Local Roads District 1 and was informed at that time that unless we rebid the salt purchase, we could no longer buy from Morton and use our MFT money. They were no longer going to honor the contract that we let, I think it was 6 or 7 years ago, and just kept getting 1-year extensions. So at that time, we had 3 options. We could go through and do this process and go through and get IDOT to approve the bid documents. We could go on the state contract, which was more money for a lower grade of salt, or we could try and plug the money into our general fund somewhere. And since we still wanted to use the MFT funds as we had in the past, we thought this was the most prudent course to go to use that money and also preserve the money in the general fund.
Can I do one?
Yes,
follow-up?
go ahead.
The question I have is that we are submitting a proposal to the state of a bid process. My question is, the state, so we may end up buying the salt from the state down the line if they don't allow our bid paperwork go, am I correct? Or we would have to go out for a bid for 3 salt vendors. Here's my concern. We have dealt with Morton Salt for so many years. They are the ones that we have a major snowfall, you call them the next day, they deliver the salt within 24 hours. My concern is with the salt, that if we get stuck with the IDOT, and believe me, I want to go the cheapest way out too, we make our money, but if we go with the IDOT, we're going to have to take so much salt, and we don't have a salt dome to store it. Okay, right now, we inherited a lot of salt from last year, which, unfortunate, it was grateful that Itasca let us use their salt dome because it was empty and it was a new one, okay? But I just don't want to get caught in 22 here that we're going to end up storing all the salt somewhere because we don't have a salt dome if we go with the state purchase. Because the state's going to require that you have to take it all at one time. Morton Salt was a company that kind of went, we get it, snowfall, the next day we call him to refurnish our bin. So my question is, are we writing specs for what type of salt we use? Or are we just going out for a bid for all 3 salt companies? Because there is certain mixture that we use in our salt that we buy from, maybe you can help me out here now, and
Andy, you want to take the mic? Go
we
ahead.
buy a certain mixture, is that going to be in our spec?
Go ahead.
From what my understanding is in talking with Lou and the other engineers at B&W, all that this resolution is doing is it provides you the opportunity, if you so choose, to utilize MFT funds to buy your salt, to purchase salt. It's not locking you into anything. All it's doing is down the road, if the city so chooses to utilize MFT funding to purchase the salt, it sidesteps or doesn't sidestep it, provides the ability for you to do it using MFT funds through this resolution. So with the surplus you have stored at Itasca right now, if next year or this winter there isn't a need for excessive repurchase of salt, that you can utilize that and not have to be burdened by an additional load because IDOT is requiring that. So really all that this is doing is just providing you the opportunity, the ability, if you so choose, to utilize MFT funding to purchase that.
All right, so if we want,
Go ahead.
sorry, So if we want to use NFT funds, let me get this straight, we would have to go out for 3 bids, according to, I believe it was 3 bids, right?
Correct.
3 bids, after
correct.
we submit our paperwork to the state.
Mhm.
So my question is, the staff here is, actually it would be to Jeff. We approve his resolution, we go out for bid, how quick are we gonna turn this bid around? Because you know what, you're October already. I mean, I just don't understand that. I mean, October,
Who wants to answer that? Andy or Brad? Go ahead, Brad.
I mean, wait till the
Sure.
last minute.
Yeah, in talking to engineers of Baxter and Woodman, to go back to your previous question, they are going to put the spec together to say that we only have limited storage quantities.
Okay.
And to account, because I know Morton was really good about storing it for us and then delivering it to us. So we're going to write that in. We're going to write the mix that we put in there, which is better than the state's mix. So that is going to be in the bid spec as well. The timing on it, I've heard, depending on how quickly we get this passed and then get everything else to IDOT, is somewhere between 4 to 6 weeks.
So we look at
And so,
December.
4 weeks puts us at the end of October, 6 weeks is the middle of November.
Yeah.
And so, because it has to go to IDOT, they have to approve it, it has to be in their IDOT bulletin for 2 weeks, and then goes out to bid, and then we come back and award it.
Well,
So,
believe me, I'm not saying go with Morton. Let's see what the best price is. I'm not doing that, but I'm looking at the point is, I don't want a snowstorm here and we're scrambling for salt if we don't have a contract signed with someone. That is my whole concern here. It's October and we bring this to the council now. If we knew about this, we should came to our council sooner so we could have this all in line.
Mr.
That's fine,
Murmas.
thank you.
Keep in mind that we're not going to have a shortage of salt because, like you said, we've still got, I think, 30 or 40% of our yearly salt still over at Itasca and in Arbins too. So don't worry too much, unless we get another blizzard.
One major snowstorm, it's only up north already, so.
All right. Alderman Coles.
If I recall, we had a snowstorm and we ran out of salt, and IDOT said that they didn't have any, and that's why we made a contract with Martin Salt originally many years ago, and they gave us a good price, and that's why we stayed with them, because of the price, if I remember right. I'd have to go back in the files, but I'm almost positive that's why we went with Martin. And then we went with Martin, and then there was another reason that we went, IDOT salt comes in clumps, and we had no way of grinding it up to get it through our graders, for we could get it out on the street. And it was too coarse of salt. We need that fine stuff in order to put the beet juice on, which we do now. So that's one of the reasons why we didn't go with IDOT.
Okay.
That's all I can say.
Anything further? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No,
Who was the no? Joe?
yep.
One opposed. Motion carries. That concludes your report?
That's in my report.
Thank you. Finance and Administration, Alderman Shockey.
No report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. No other business. Approval list of bills, October 4th, Alderman Shockey.
Total list of bills, or not the total, is general fund is $230,668.99. The road and bridge fund is $787.14. Motor fuel tax fund is $3,876.44. Tourism fund, $4,399.51. Capital projects fund, $1,001,047.48. Commuter parking lot fund, $2,314.90. Sanitation fund, $254.56. Water and sewer capital projects, $218,345. And water and sewer fund, $207,678.69 for a grand total of $1,669 or $1,372.71. Wishful thinking. That's my motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Questions? Alderman Eugene Wesley.
I have one question on page 12. The streetlights, 8 units with W32 watts LEA assembly, was that, if I'm mistaken, was that the grant, was that the grant money for the bridge lights? This one for 18,000.
Mr. Murmas.
I believe it was.
So that was a grant, okay. That's all I want to know. Thank you.
Anyone else? Roll call.
R. Wesley, Yes. Alderman Winger,
Yes.
Alderman Coles,
Yes.
Alderman Woods,
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky,
Yes.
Alderman Shockey,
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley,
Yes.
Alderman Lazara.
Yes.
That passes. And that's it, right? We do need executive session tonight to review official minutes and possible litigation. I need a motion to adjourn.
Make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.